Hi everyone, just going to go through this ruler and the demonstration for you. So this is the cathedral windows ruler, and basically what you do is you get I use charm squares, not charm squares, layer cakes, because they were really good for 10-inch, and that being a 10-inch, it just sat nicely in the middle. I have used a True Cut cutter, and it's a 28mm blade, just so that I can go around in small bits. The smaller the blade, the better it is. Got an 18, that'll work as well. Basically, you cut out two pieces, one for the back and one for the front. Then what you do is you make a slit in the one for the front. Lay them on top of each other, like that. Excuse me. You mark out those square marks there, just so you know that when you make this square here, I made this 6.5 inches, and I've put some wadding that goes in the middle there nicely, and I snip the corners off on that so that it makes it easier for turning. Oh, and I've just buried my scissors. So you get those, so just snip your corners off them. I've just used a poly wadding, that'll do. And I'm just doing a small bit just so you can see how this works. And now I have that, so I've got those two pieces. I have I've drawn lines on, but I can draw them back on later. They're going to disappear because I'm going to turn it inside out. So that is my cut mark. Just, it can be in the middle. Just don't make it too wide. Just enough to turn it in, turn it around, and you stitch around the outside edge. This means that you don't have to actually leave an opening to turn. You can just stitch all the way around the edge, line them up nicely. And this also gives you the lines, you know, for when you're going to turn. So pop it under your machine, stitch forward and back. Hopefully don't run out of bobbin, I didn't check it. All the way around. Being a bigger circle too, it means that I don't have to lift and turn all the time. And once you've done that, take your scissors, and I'm just using my mini duckbills, and just snip all the way around. And you'll need to do this to every single one of them. So this will be basically quilt as you go. You can embroider on the center bits. You'll see in a minute what I'm talking about, but just trim all those around, so when you're turning you get a better sort of circle. If you don't trim it, you'll sort of end up with straight bits. This just helps release the fabric, stops it from pulling on itself. All the way around. Probably about 1/2 inch between each other is plenty. Excuse my cough, it won't go away. Probably part of the most time consuming of this would be this part. Got it all? Yeah, I have. All right. Then open up that slit down and turn it right way around, just like that. Run your fingers along the edge, and that just helps smooth out that seam and push out. So just make sure that, you know, the slit you make in that is big enough for you to get your hand in there to turn that out. Then just give them a press. Iron here, bring that in, and I'm just going to give that a press. Sometimes you might need to manipulate the seams, give them a bit of a roll just to make it look circular, especially if you've done a bit of a straight edge in your sewing. Don't worry about that hole there. That's going to disappear amongst the whole lot. Just going to pop that there. Now, what you need to do is take each one of these, grab your, and I just used a pen. Find the center of it first. Let's find the center. That'll be the easiest way to do this. And I'm just going to chuck the iron on that. There. And I might turn it that way. Find the center like that. Give it a bit of an iron. And that will help mark out those centers. Grab your pen. I'm just going to use a normal pen. You can use any kind of marker you like. You're not going to see it, so the pen works well. And I'm just laying up those lines. So I sort of get a center. And there. And mark the line. And you'll need to do all the way around. Okay, do that with each one. I'll try, that's one. I'll try just pressing the center just to find the center part. Finger press, there it is. Put the center on and just even it out. I'm eyeballing. And mark those lines. Now don't do this on the back of it, do it on the front. So this is my front. It's two. Three and four. Find that center bit and do that. And stitch down. Oh, sorry, it's draw down your lines all the way across. And you've got the lines on there. Pop your template away for a little while. Now, this is where it gets fun. So you take one of these and you line it up with the next one. Now, what I do is I grab that line there. You can see there. Line it up there. And that is going to be where I'm going to sew. So that line that I drew in there, that's going to go on the edge of my foot of my sewing machine. So I'm going to lift up and make sure you backstitch. So with that, it's 1/4 inch from the edge of that. That's your edge of your. So I sewed in. There's my sew line. There's my drawn line, and I have sewn a 1/4 inch from that line. Then you open it up, and you'll see the cut marks are all over the place. That doesn't matter, and you can see how that's going to work. Then you do the same with all the others. So I'm doing a set of 4. So I'll just go 1, 2, 3, 4. Line those up. And I've done those 2. Now you can make it as long as you want, or small as you want. It doesn't matter. But that gets 2. I can just keep adding on one after the other after the other. So you make lines of or rows of, and then once you get to that, then you want to join these 2 together. And to do that, you have one flipped over. Now make sure that is open. Flip it over. And get this one, wrong side still, the back of it together. So effectively the wrong side. You should have the right side facing up and the wrong side facing down. Or the back of it facing down. It's a bit of a funny edge there. Give it a roll. And this is the area I would clip. I would clip that there, or pin, whichever one suits. And I'm going to sew from here all the way across and here. Don't worry that that line is off kilter. You can always come back in. That's the beauty of these. So if you line it up wrong, you can come back in with your ruler and line it up with this one. And I can see it's gone off kilter there. Just take that out for a sec. And just quickly draw that in. You're not going to see these lines. They're going to disappear amongst the seams and that. That one's open. Line those up. And you'd have a nice big long line of it. And I'm going to stitch right along here. But when I come up to here, I'm aiming to not catch them, but just go past that. So I'll show you after I've sewn it. Really want those two to line up nicely. And you'd repeat this process the whole way for each and every row. Just make sure she lines up nicely. Any seam that's not, working nicely, you can just roll it out to make it sit like circular. And this one's a little bit less than a quarter, so more like 1/8 of an inch, but that's okay. And then you open it out like that. And then these ones sit flat like that. You can roll that under a little bit, that edge there. And you can see how it's starting to look like a stained glass window. Now, if you want to change the color up a little, you can pop one of these in the inside, which I tend to do. It means that this one in here, if you're going to put these in, it means that this one in here can be any color. So you could have that as just plain white or plain black fabric. I've just grabbed a layer cake, so I just used what was there. So I'm just laying that down in the middle. Now they're 6.5 inch squares, and press that over there, or push it over there. Fold that one down, just like that. And this is where you'll just manipulate a little and just clip here. And you'll get to this corner, come up close to that corner and clip that over there. And what you want is, you don't want a big gap. You want to make sure that that comes over. And this one here folds over to meet it, so it becomes like into a point, so to speak. And clip that corner. The other end, do that, get this one. Now these inside ones will need to be pinned just to make them stay. I won't do that yet because I want to put these other bits in here. And this is why you don't have to worry about that slit in there, because it just disappears into the center of the whole thing. So that one there, I can now pin that one. It also means that I get it sewn together, quilted and bound all at once. No fluffing around with all the other stuff. So it works really, really well. You can make them as big as you want or as small as you want. Quilt size, that is. So I'm just placing a pin to hold both those down. And you can see how just changing that colour in the centre changes the look of the whole thing. And a couple more pins. One for this side and then one for that side. Don't worry about this sitting up at the moment. I'm not really stressed over that there. We'll just stitch that down and it'll blend in there nicely. So each corner you're going to fold that up, or each edge piece, fold that up, make sure you're getting that nice sort of pointed shape there. Clip that corner in like that. That's why these clips are good. They'll hold the thickness of it. Come back in. You can make table centers with this, all sorts of things. That one there. Keep going around. When you're sewing the final bit, which is going to be, you know, going right around the whole thing, don't sort of, you don't have to bind or anything, which is great. Don't sort of panic if it's not exact perfect. It will work out in the end. Oh, I thought I had some more clips. I don't. Oh, yes, I do. Yeah, if you've got a little bit of bulk up in there, don't panic about that either. That'll just get stitched in. And what I tend to do when I'm sewing this or quilting it or whatever is I will start here, go down, go up, go down, go up, go down, go up. Then I go all the way around the edge, all the way back to where there is, and then back down to the center again, and that's where I finish off. Okay, and that's all stitched in one go. All right, so let's start with in the center, and I've just got to get that under there. And I'm just using the grey that I had on, so I'm just going to maneuver the camera over for you, zoom her in if I can. No, I can't, so we'll just move that over, and let's do this. Let's go. So foot down. Now when it's really thick there in the center, you might want to go a little bit slower. All right, and just go around the edge about 1/8 of an inch. Oops, I didn't mean to press that. Take that tail off. Take that out of there, but pop it in this side so you don't lose that one yet. All the way around. Till we get to there. And you'll have to put your foot on it and hold it down till you get to that end bit. And one extra stitch. Lift up, turn her around, and oops, it does continue on. Okay. Now, if your stitching is not super regular or whatever, don't panic. It's no big deal. Just enjoy the process. It's a lot of fun to do these. They're easy to do. They're not rocket science, and they're done. You've done another quilt. You've finished it all. You've done it yourself, and you don't have to get it professionally quilted. You don't have to custom quilt it. I mean, you can go into every one of these blocks and quilt a different design in each and every one of them if you want to. But the thing is that you don't have to, because it is done. If you want it thicker again, like as in heavier, you might want to add wadding into that circle part. So cut another bit of wadding just so that you have it a little bit thicker in there. But honestly, I've just popped a poly in and it seems to be working just fine. So that's 2 done, and I'm just going to keep going around. It's almost like going around a circle. And on the last of these half circle parts, I don't go back down to the center, then I'll do my outer edge. So come up to here, one more step around, have it come around there. Right around, back to that center. And this is the one where I'll only do half, and then I'll go all the way around till I come back to here and then come back down to the bottom to finish off. These are great to teach kids. You're starting, unless you know, young ones that are wanting to start to learn how to sew and quilt, because it's not rocket science. It's quite easy, and they can do it and get it all done in one go. Just move that. I'm going to go 1 stitch more and then I'll lift up, pick it up, move it over a fraction, 1 more and catch. I've just caught that one. That's all I did then. You're not going straight, you're going around here. So let's go all the way around. Oops, pressing buttons. So when you come to these corners, the idea is to get in as close as you can to that corner, lift up, do 1 stitch over so you catch the next bit, then lift up and turn and start doing the next folded piece. If you're worried about things moving or going out of place, you can always spray glue it or just glue it. I find that it's pretty good. I'm just going to go straight across there till I catch the next curve. And then go around. So the one that you've got on the back, that's going to be the one that shows. So always remember that. When you're doing this, whatever you've got on the back, that's going to show on that curved bit. Just need to move that over. Get that right up into that corner. Lift that up and tuck her in. Get in there. That's it. Down, 1 stitch over. Lift up. Move it around and go to the next one. So just a little tiny bit of manipulation there. Not a lot. Oh, lost my clip. Just a little. Just to get it to sit nicely for me in the corner. Get my little scissors in there. Tuck that in. And over. If you've got tweezers, I don't have them right on me right now. That would help. Get right in there. Straighten her up. Go a couple of stitches. Take that off. Lift up your foot. And off we go on another corner. Or curve, I should say. Make sure you've got your walking foot on to take the bulk. Okay? So 1 stitch from the end, turn it, 1 stitch up and over, then turn it over to here, go. Another one. All the way around. This one's going to overlap a little bit. Doesn't really matter. Lift up, go straight. Lift up and turn. You might want to, you know, manipulate that sort of thing as you're doing it, but as a sample piece, this works really well. And I'm not really fussing over anything, as you can see. Just go into the corner, turn it, one stitch, and then back around. And I'm almost up to where I came out of the center. So I get to there, straighten her up, a couple of stitches. So I've caught this last one. So this one here hasn't been sewn down yet. So then you lift up, turn, holding that one down, and we're going to stitch all the way around the edge of that, right to the center again where we started. Oh, we have a bit of a crease. Should be right. And you're done. That is as simple as it gets, and it's quilted on the back. It's done. You've just done a stained glass window. How cool is that? Easy peasy. And it's bound. I mean, this bit here, I could probably push that in, but, you know, pull it in with one stitch. It's as simple as that. It's just a little bit of a glitch there, but, you know, you could go along and bind it again. So you could actually bind it again, like a proper binding, but you don't have to, and that's the bonus of it. So there you go. There's your stained glass windows. Easily done, and that is this one here. You can find these by messaging me on Michelle's Patchwork and Art in Facebook. Message by direct message and send me one, or you can email me direct at mde17978@hotmail.com, or go to my website and request one. They're not yet on the website, they're so new, and we sold out before I even had a chance to put on there, but you can always get in there and send me a chat through the website, which is the W's, michellespatchwork.com, and you can get yourself one of those as well. But how cool are they? Easy done. So thank you for watching me, and I look forward to seeing you on the site and seeing what you can actually do yourself with these. They're quite fun and quite simple. Thanks, guys. Bye.